This conference will now be recorded.
Any discussion on the motion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. We have your unaudited cash and investment balance of $9,232,669.21. You have the December building permits in your packet.
Motion to approve as presented. Second.
Motion by Anders, second by Duplay to approve the December building permits as presented. Any discussion on the motion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. You also have your monthly court report and you have the December financial statement in your packet. Anything else? All right, next item is public concerns. Public's opportunity to speak to the town board about any subject that is not a specific agenda item. Anyone online?
Just Eric Lang.
Then we will move on to review the December police activities.
I learned from last time I was supposed to go up here. I don't know. I'm supposed to go.
Okay then.
So, all right. Hello, everybody.
Howdy.
You're not froze.
I'm not froze yet. Not froze yet. But so you all get the stats, I think, right?
Yep.
Right.
Cool. As you can see, it's just the two of us still, so we're still doing pretty well according to the numbers called service total and the ones that we're actually handling as well, between just the two of us. So shot list still looks like he's coming in February.
About
So-
a month from now.
About a month, so hopefully that number will be much more reduced and smaller. So,
Yeah.
Other than that, not really too much of note. We've been focusing on the traffic areas that are citizens' complaints and concerns, and as you see in the stats from the speed boards. We're going as well. So, any questions for me?
Have any problems with the snow?
So I was off, it was on my 3 off days during the big snowstorm.
Lucky you.
Wow.
I did.
You're fitting right in.
It wasn't vacation.
I'm just kidding.
It was thankfully I was on my off days, but according to my San Juan partner, who San Juan is under Cotchgrove, he was pretty busy with a lot of slide offs and stuff in our township that I wasn't able to obviously assist. So, but the last few days that I've been on, today's my day 2. We've been pretty good. I think people are realizing that you need to slow down. And as a result, my traffic numbers have also decreased the last couple of days because of the limited people on the road, as well as the people that are driving with, obvious concerns. So,
Yeah. Staying warm in the station, everything's okay over there?
yes, yep, no complaints, no
Okay.
complaints at all. So we're doing great, I think, and at least I haven't heard any issues. So, yeah, handling calls that we come in and.
Okay.
We got one question.
Yep.
Regarding sleds on town roads. I mean, I know they're not supposed to be there, but I'm not talking snowmobiles.
Some of it's okay. I was like sluts.
No, sorry, but are you guys doing anything about it, or if they're not doing anything crazy or going long distances, you're just kind of,
I haven't seen anything
okay,
personally, and I have not received any calls for service for it.
okay.
And I don't know about my coworker, but I don't think we've had any issues. I think for me personally, I mean, obviously there's discretion. If I enforce every single law and statute, I
No,
would
I
block
just-
my police department. But I think if people are driving and doing things appropriately, that's when I think it's fine. But when people are doing kind of stupid things and being unsafe,
No,
then that's when I would.
There's just a fair amount of traffic by my house on Vilas.
Was
But-
snowmobiles?
Yeah, but they're not, I mean, they're playing it really cool, but I just,
Is it on the road surface or in the ditch?
No, the road surface.
Okay, because ditch is open.
Because ditch
so-
bank, they can do that to get to
Yeah.
the trail.
Yeah.
so.
Yeah, you're taking your life in your hands with the ditches nowadays just because of all the snow in there.
That's
Which I
probably
think
why
is
there might be a few more
probably
on
why they're on the
surface,
road,
But
Just to get,
Yeah.
I was just curious. I mean, I don't have a complaint. I mean, I understand that sometimes you gotta get from one place to another and,
Yeah.
and stuff like that, but I didn't, just
Be
asking.
gone in a week.
hopefully not.
I know the glacial drumlin has been packed,
Yes.
snow
Really?
machines.
Yeah.
Maybe that's where they're headed.
They stop at the end of the trail and go over to the outpost for lunch and a beer, and
You see a lot of,
they have to stop there, at the end of the trail.
you see a lot of trailers unloading
Yeah.
at the trailhead there and down at Nora,
Yeah.
et cetera, et cetera.
That's good for business.
All right, then we'll go into our next
All right,
one.
I'll take off, y'all take care.
Yep, stay warm.
Stick around for this.
I'll figure out. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Any input that you have on our discussion designating town roads as ATV, UT routes? Come on up, Mike. so
You want me up front center?
closer
Yes,
so
we
that
do.
We can reach.
This is Matt.
Oh.
He's here too.
Everybody has this map. This is what you had,
That's what I made up for
you
you.
had drawn.
And then we had well, I think most of these were here for the county sheriff department and the DNR. And who else was here that night? And a lot of the other town boards were here.
Yeah.
The Towns Association was here. And I think we had a lot of positive feedback on the whole situation. And I guess,
Then we gave them our map.
okay,
This is our map.
I also
Yeah.
have on the screen your map, but I tried to also indicate.
so that's mine I made up, is it?
I've
Yeah,
got
we see
marked
that.
on there the roads that are in the village. 'Cause that's gonna be a limitation.
Correct.
We have some roads that are not ours.
And then the one side of the road is the township, like
Yeah.
Violet, one
Yeah.
side is the township.
Yeah,
and-
when you get down toward the old farm golf course.
Correct, yeah.
Okay. So, I mean,
And then even a coffee town, there's a segment in there that's
Yes.
the village.
right, one side,
So the north
From the
side
north.
is,
north side from.
Facing Landmark driveway to Schwab's house.
Yes. Is that, yeah, it's township.
That's the village.
Well, that's the village.
The rest of it's
This is what is
I
it
used to
telling me?
get permission with the
Those
old
that are
village there to
shared
get to
by-
the pumps. I
Oh,
thought
this
it
is
was from the
half
pumps.
town.
Oh, that's what you got in there. Okay, I got
That's
it.
not the case.
Either the village or the village of.
I give you guys
Farland.
permission now. Wade Houston drops off the thing from the Snowmobile Club every year.
So these,
Madison.
they're on this map here, but they shouldn't be, correct?
I mean, that's our problem,
Yeah.
you can't,
You can't just take everything into effect that it's.
yeah, we can't do all of Vilas Road because not all of it is under our control.
Correct.
Yeah.
So you
Have you
could,
approached the village at all?
no, I figured the township is our priority and then, maybe down the road, once if it goes through with the township, if everybody's in favor of it, then maybe we would pursue the village for certain areas like Violet's Road and maybe Gaston Road to go on in to get fuel and such, at the pumps down there and things like that. It'd be an option to look into, or coming in BB from the east to come into town.
Mhm.
Now, somebody said years ago, do you know this, Mike, that the village actually approved golf carts on the streets?
That came up big time for a while, but
Yeah,
I
did
thought it was
something ever
changing.
get passed on that?
I thought
don't
it did
ever
pass, but
recall.
I was talking to Dave Beacon, of course, he was on the
Police
board,
force.
he was on
and
the,
the board, yeah.
yeah, and he thought that something went through back when he was
I thought
on.
so
there.
too, but I have not seen a golf cart.
Yeah, I
anywhere.
haven't seen anything.
I don't know if it actually was or not.
Right.
That's probably something worth checking though.
Yeah, I think down the road, it would be worth checking into that.
But the village has passed an ordinance now, right? Restricting all UTV.
Well, I guess it ain't really passed or in favor. It hasn't
They
been,
haven't allowed it.
it hasn't been presented or anything
Yeah.
with the village.
There's nothing, from what I'm aware of, there's nothing on the book saying, no, you can't.
So you, other than looking at Vilas Hope,
You know, like some of them roads, like Vilas Hope, both ends of it kind of take care of itself because you can't be,
Can't go
the
way.
county is not going to approve BN or ABA.
Yeah.
AB or.
And they are not going to approve A or BB. So you could say Vilas Hope is okay, but they're going to
Where
be
you
able to
gonna
just
go?
go, they'll just go from neighbor to neighbor
Yeah.
within there, you know, in all legality.
Yeah.
In same way, like where Steve lives there, you'll be restricted. You might be able to get out of Cotty, come this way, but you won't be able to get back.
I'll have to go into
I mean,
Borton's Field and
he-
right
he-
back up.
He could maybe get to Seminary Springs.
You couldn't even get there because you changed to Burke Township.
That's city of Madison though now, isn't it?
No, it's still Burke.
No,
It's
not
still
yet.
Burke. Oh, no, no,
I'm gonna get
the
500
second
feet to
driveway
get
for,
Yeah, you're right where the old school
Second
area.
drive- the second drive, I was thinking maybe I sneak in the second driveway to the tavern there, but that's still past the line.
Yeah.
It's about 500
What
feet.
would you have to deal there is the landowner, the farmer that owns that field where they park the snowmobiles.
Oh,
You can go off from the township off into that field and stay along, park where the snowmobiles park there.
Yeah, right, over there.
he's got
Yeah.
the farm just right next to the bridge.
That's,
Conglin, isn't that Conglin?
no, that's Mickelson or Mike, what's their name? He lives up there on, above the bar up there in the hill. Mickelson.
up by where?
You know,
Up on the
past
hill
Emery
across.
Springs, up on the hill up there is where they live.
Conglin,
Huh?
Conglin?
No, it's out of the township.
Yeah, they're in the town of Burke.
Oh,
No.
well, I don't have.
You looking her up, Matt?
Is there any places where there could be, like the snowmobile trails? There could be ATV trails. Have you looked at anything at all in the,
No, because we're,
that's not gonna
well,
happen?
Matt, me and Matt both belong to the Utica.
Just are not,
We're out on the fields,
Here,
and,
right?
you know, and the crops are planted
just
and
ain't gonna happen.
it wouldn't happen. Up north, it happens,
Oh, yeah, big time.
you know, and in all fairness, I think around here, you're gonna see limited use of it because everybody's main goal, like especially with ATVs, they want to
City
get
of
the dirt.
Madison also has a little chunk right there.
And
too.
that takes them up north, you know, or different areas when they want to hit the dirt. We could be able to have that in this area because of the cropping, farming.
Kim put on a thing to read that was on the internet from the Department of Transportation. Is that where that was from? On the internet?
Or DNR.
It
I don't
was
know which
DNR.
one.
It was in our email.
Yeah, you would
Is that the deal with-
read this before the meeting or whatever?
Oh, that deal that we hit when we had the meeting with everybody?
No, they have an information page of all
It's
kinds of.
outstanding.
Oh, okay.
I thought it was outstanding. Answers all your questions about everything.
Mhm.
I'll be, yeah, Meister.
Meister, yeah,
Really well done.
Not there eventually.
Meister's who has that land where you'd want to try to get off into there. So I guess the main thing is, what's the concerns, you know, if we do this? And like I told Mike and that, if we could try it, I mean, you could always, if it don't work out, you can come up for review. You can come up for review every meeting or every 6 months or whatever. And if it ain't working out, that's, you know, that's it.
Well, in looking at our map, if I was going to approve anything, it'd just be anything east of N. Because most of what's west of N, there's problems with
Yeah,
either
I don't know,
the
like, with
the
Steve,
village is in it,
yeah,
or the city, or the village of McFarland, or
right, that's what I said.
end up at a county road that you can't go on.
Yeah, I know what they all do is they post it as the township is an ordinance that allows it, and then everything else takes care of itself, like the county roads, or let's say if you didn't want them on some road or some area, then you've probably seen that where you got the ATV with the circle around it and across you to signify that that's not a trail, allowable route.
Oh, yeah, even over on Deerfield Road where it's a shared, right, it's shared with the Cottage Grove Township, right?
Deerfield.
So that one says no, even though town of Deerfield is, so once that would be open, then that sign could come down. And
Yeah, because that, actually Deerfield will be one of them roads, of the one side is
Yeah.
the town of Deerfield,
Right.
right side is the
One side
town
is
of
the
Cottage Grove.
I think pretty basically you're looking for east of the village and south of the village, basically, right?
Yeah, only thing I,
Southeast of the
you
village.
hate to not be fair to, you know, if somebody on Violet Hope Road wants to go.
You're never
down
gonna be
this-
fair to everybody.
Yeah, if he wants to go
Ain't gonna
down,
happen.
yeah, I know, it's just, it's hard to do that, but you kind of, with the hope you could do it, but you can't.
But I mean, if we take out the roads that we can't do anything, I mean, all you have are a bunch of dead ends everywhere.
Well, like Chris said, if we did everything east of County End, then you'd be open, because the town of,
You have
Yeah.
all
the town of
way that's
Deerfield is
open.
already permitted.
You're open then to everybody else.
Yeah, the town of Deerfield is permitted, the town of Christiana is
Yeah.
permitted, the
Medina.
town of Albion's is,
Yeah.
yeah, Medina.
What's
then-
Pleasant Springs, because that's what we share Shadle with. I think they're
Right.
still kind of the same
They-
boat we are.
They were here that night, weren't they?
Yeah.
And the two couples seemed somewhat in favor, but I don't know if they're, you know, reviewing it since the meeting or having any discussion or
I
not.
don't think that
Is
they've
that-
taken any action yet, but
Right.
they were thinking.
Yeah, because then once you go to Jefferson County, then the whole county in Jefferson's open.
You have BB east of the village, but we can't approve that here, can we? Because
What's that?
No.
No,
that's marked on this map, but I don't think,
BB where it hits the city limits, you wouldn't.
I mean, no, but I mean, even going east from the
Going
village,
east.
because it's more than a 35-mile-an-hour speed limit, so we can't, the town doesn't have the ability to designate a route there either, is my understanding.
Well, here's, I talked to that Bill.
You cross it, yeah.
Huh?
Yeah.
Cross, if I talked to Bill Belaskin, they're actually presently out there doing BB Deerfield Township and beyond to the Lake Mills. And what they're doing is they're putting up 35-mile-an-hour ATV route with 35-mile signs with it.
Because I thought that the town could approve a route on any county road that the county hasn't already said no on, but only if the speed limit was 35 miles or
No,
less.
it was limiting the ATVs to 35 miles an hour. Correct.
It was
it's
it's
kind of
some
weird and
weird.
funny.
Huh?
It's worded kind of funny.
It's kind of weird language. Me and Chris discussed this too. It just, and that night when they were here, they even talked like it didn't make sense to the sheriff's
You
department.
got
Right.
an email from one of the sheriff's department individuals as a clarification. I'm trying to think who it was
It
from.
was from Porter,
Huh?
from
Porter.
Captain.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
He said it was not that the roads had to be 35 miles per hour, but that the ATVs would be limited to 35 miles per hour.
So do you gotta put a sign up to say that they're, because right now they're making, Bill Blast told me they're making signs up. ATV 35 miles an hour. He says it's an expensive process. And they're doing it in Dane County out east of
I
here.
thought we get the signs for nothing or something.
No.
Right, well,
The town gets them for nothing, but these guys
Somebody's
and
gotta-
anybody else is paying.
See, I belong to a, I belong,
And
right, I belong to a ATV UTV club that's a kind of tri-county. And they've got the sign, but it is a cost to them. And what we would have to do is maybe we could go back to like Nora double days. They said it's like $200 for these signs. That, you know, it isn't that much because you just stick them out on the post.
I order a lot of signs and they're not that bad.
No, they're not that expensive for the signs.
quantity discount.
Right, and yeah, if you're, yeah, it'd be a custom
Solicit
one, you order
donations
more.
From those who want to chip in a couple of bucks.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, even like myself, I would be willing to do that. And you probably would too, Steve.
It's my business.
Matt,
It'll be-
yep.
yeah.
I wouldn't.
If I give you a couple bucks, Mike, would you then?
Yeah.
So just going back to this, I think you're wrong. Here's even the legal opinions from the Towns Association. The question was, may a town or village establish an ATV route on a highway not under its jurisdiction? And it says, yes, Wisconsin Stat 23.3311 AM4. authorizes the town or village to designate roads that are not part of the national system of interstate and defense highways, but are located within its boundaries and that have a speed limit of 35 miles or less as ATV routes.
Okay, then how about every other county in the state though? So
Yes.
I don't
I
know.
just-
Everything I read in
You-
the statutes, that's what I read.
You had
Yeah,
to-
that's-
You
that's-
had to apply for permission.
what's that?
That night that they were here, he said something about these state highways that they're opening up.
We gotta-
Those townships had to apply for permission.
No,
to use
the,
those.
the ATV or UTV people are applying for the permission.
Yeah, so you wouldn't be able to go on BB just because it's.
Until it was a $500 fee. Yeah, it's, the county's charging they're
Yeah,
charging a $500 fee. And then the UTV, ATV clubs are actually putting the signs out there.
It had to be shoulder riding only, right, on the 55?
Boy, I don't know. I
What's
don't
that?
think so.
That's the way Grant County and Lafayette County do it,
I don't know. I go down to Grant
Highways.
County and we run right down the roads.
on the 55 mile an hour?
Yep.
Oh, really? So they're shoulder ride,
No, we're
you know what
running.
80 is, 81? That
Yep.
runs south to Cuba and Platteville?
Yep, I
That's
go,
shoulder only.
Maybe a state
my family,
I grew up down there.
I did too. I grew up in
We go
Fennimore.
down there all the time.
Him and I grew up the same decade.
Okay.
And I was just down there this summer with mine and,
I
and
can't believe
I'm running up to Castle Rock up
the
there,
other counties are wrong.
county truck, not the state highways. You can't, but Fennimore got permission to run the state highway in the town
Yeah.
from a certain area.
So the highway from Platteville to
Our
Cuba,
own roads, I think. we
The
have-
81, you couldn't run on that.
it's wide open.
And we.
Oh, it is?
have
You have to ride on the
pay
shoulder.
County
Oh.
road if it was 35 miles.
So we were riding on it
but-
this summer.
But otherwise, I guess if you could, you have to, must have to ask the county. You're
Okay,
right.
we gotta get that
Yeah.
clarified.
Well, just BB is the only one we gotta worry about.
Well, you got BN down there.
Well, true,
Yeah.
but the county highways, the township roads, we could do whatever we want.
In the way I gather that night, the county wants the townships to take the act to do this.
Seem to be, yeah.
They want them to take care of things for us.
Maybe we don't want to.
Well, that's why we're discussing this, but yeah.
So this email from Captain Porter, basically the bottom line at the end, he says, in other words, there's no need to seek a permit from the county. And it is not needed for any roads in your jurisdiction that are 35 miles or less. So because those roads are more than 35,
Correct.
the town doesn't have any authority to approve those.
You gotta get a permit, pay the $500 permit.
You'd have to go to the county.
You get a
I don't know
permit.
what that ordinance they have says about.
Right,
That costs you $500.
correct. And the problem with that is $500
500 per road.
per, so like BN, we'd have to pay $500 just to get to Shadle Road. And then poor Shadle's got Pleasant Springs, so you probably wouldn't even go that route.
Wait it out until Pleasant Springs does. I
Yeah,
know, when I read it originally, I didn't get to make it to the last meeting, it was clearly stated, I think, that there were certain roads that were off limits, so that was N, BB, towards Madison, and other ones like that. But the other ones
yeah, I
were,
got that, that's
open
mapped right
to-
here. You have that too,
Yeah.
don't you?
whatever that might be, whatever it was, whether it was automatic or a permit. I mean, it was kind of hard to follow, but. Yeah, I understood it.
Yeah, all the prohibited roads.
There's Thompson Prairie. Yeah, I mean, there's lots of connection, even east of town.
Do you feel like there'd be an issue with them on the roads with?
So I guess my three things that I thought of is I think there's gonna be a complaint about noise from residents. I think there could be the narrow roads is a factor as well when it comes to safety. And then my third thing is just the safety overall. When you have somebody on a rider or whatever going down Vallis Hope and other roads like that that are already experiencing speeds at astronomical price. That, I mean, as you guys saw on the speed boards, like they were on Vallis Hope, they were flying directly at 65
That'd be
and
one road where
35.
we probably, the way it
Yeah, I'd
sounds like,
say that road,
that's
anything
one road
to
I
the
don't think,
east
the way
or
the
to the
town
west
board's
of
leaning towards.
the township, maybe we wouldn't authorize for now,
And like I said, that even if we do the east side and try it and
We can come up for review if you want to do it 6 months from now or a year from now and see how it's going. And if there is, or even if there gets to be issues, you can always say no
Or we correct the issues.
or correct the issue. It's like, well, me and Matt with snowmobiling, there's bad players out there.
Yeah.
I deal with them all the time.
And he's saying bad drivers, you know?
Yeah.
But
And that's my kind of biggest three concerns. I mean, I think it also brings in some pros too. I mean, you're gonna have more people coming into the township. You could have more people stopping at local places. I mean, there's pros and there's pros and cons to it. So I won't say that I'm for it or against it, but I definitely think it's a concern as far as safety in my eyes, that I have to at least say something about that, because that's my primary job. And I'm sure our fire team here can also admit to some horrific crashes that they've seen.
Right, there's safety is an
In
issue.
8 years that I've been policing, I've seen some horrific things, and it's the ones that have left scars in me mentally have been those. And I ride, I love this stuff too. So I'm not knocking it, I still do it, but you know, those motorcycle crashes and ATV crashes and other stuff have been some pretty intense
Same
stuff.
thing with snowmobile crashes.
Yep. So I think they've never had to respond to one of those, but
I've seen some bad
Pittsburgh didn't
ones.
allow it.
And like we just had the auto accident over here. That's, I mean, you don't like to see it, and it's a safety, it happens, it happens.
We're talking about mature individuals, and you're always gonna have a certain amount that are supposedly mature, but they're not. And,
16-year-olds.
Yeah, but I think a lot of people believe that there's gonna be these groups like 20, 25 UTVs out there all together going to the bars, and that's the way it is. And I just don't, it's not happening. We asked that question.
Yep.
And they don't see it in other counties, you know?
My brother's a supervisor for Grant County, and that's been wide open for quite some time now, and he says, you just don't, once in a, here or there, it
You
ain't.
see people.
I think people think
Yeah.
you're gonna see like a whole slug of them, like you said, Mike, and it don't be that way. And ATVs, I don't think they'll wanna do this so much because they're gonna wanna hit the dirt. You know, up at Black River Falls and things like that. It's kind of, I hate to say it's more like old farts like me that.
Yeah, same here with our UTVs.
Yeah, I got a
My
UTV with a
bigger than
cab.
some
and
cars are.
I got a heater.
But this will allow us to sort of match up with other townships where you could probably go a long ways.
Right,
And-
'cause,
and
yeah,
do
'cause that's what
something.
would happen. You go, your field's open and you just, yeah, you can get around.
I've seen very few on town of Deerfield roads.
Yeah, I try to get
Like
Mike
more any-
Stolbaum to come and see what his concerns were. They've been open now for quite some time, haven't they? A couple of years, maybe?
You don't hear anything
You
about it.
don't hear it. And Sun Prairie's open now. You don't really hear anything out of that area.
Village of Marshall's open, you know, they don't
You
hear
can
nothing.
run into Cambridge, that's open.
Cambridge is open.
Yeah, you can drive right into Cambridge.
I'll be good to heck.
So you would have to put signs basically where all of our roads meet county roads, right?
Yeah, wherever you go into the township on a town road, you put a sign.
And-
Or it meets another town road that you can't go.
Because I'm just
Well,
thinking,
what you do, I think, is you put them, don't you, Mike or Pat, when you come into the township?
Usually, but like I said, over here on Deerfield Road, that one says, when you get to that point, it says no ATV past this point or whatever, something to that
Yeah.
effect. So if there was a continuation road where it ended without hitting a county road, because that's automatic, well, unless if it teed at a county road, obviously it would just be known that, or yeah, a county highway. Or if it continued across that county highway, but for some reason it didn't continue across that county highway, then it would need a sign on the other side or whatever.
I'm just thinking about Kennedy Road, for example. If you don't have BB, you can't go anywhere from Kennedy Road. And I would be
But-
afraid,
You can go to some prairie.
not
You
on
could-
Kennedy Road.
Yeah. You can take
Baxter.
the-
Oh, Baxter, I'm sorry.
You could go over the
Yeah,
back.
Town's still good.
They don't have
American Way.
that mark though.
Oh.
So if you're just gonna do Kennedy Road, you're gonna end up getting kids racing. I just know, because Kennedy Road is in my neighborhood. You're gonna have, there's kids over there that are just gonna be racing up and down the road because they can, but there's nowhere to go. You know,
They're not gonna
Okay.
include subdivision?
they don't have any subdivisions included on these.
Oh, you're saying kids, what do you mean?
Kids that,
Kids with licenses, you mean?
They're adults.
Yeah, you know, you guys
Comes
see
into
the,
play.
you guys see the marks on Kennedy Road. Can you imagine if they could go on the
He's an
road?
adult.
Yeah,
He's
okay.
21 now?
Well, he's a kid to me. But I'm saying, you know,
But
I
then
could
they
just,
work
I
their
could just
way
picture
through the
what's gonna
development there
happen
at
there.
Kennedy Heights and go over to Baxter.
Yes, if you let them drive on
Right,
But
you
are
can
they-
go to Baxter
subdivision
Road.
road.
But are the kids gonna do that?
Kids aren't legally allowed to do it.
I
Kids
don't know,
ain't-
But that's not the point.
Well,
You're just saying, okay, well, we've got all these good actors here, but, and in the same breath, we're saying, well, what are we gonna do about the kids? Well,
I don't say, I shouldn't have said kids.
Shouldn't say
no,
kids,
but
no.
I'm,
Yeah,
but I'm
That's
just,
that's parenting then.
but I'm just saying that this is the same thing that I had with, in my neighborhood, with that one kid that rides his little scooter up and down the roads. You know, he's barefoot or sandals on and riding his motorcycle up.
But you just said the right word. You said one kid.
It just
But
seems
it's-
to me that if it's a road that there's nowhere you can go, you're just kind of encouraging mischief by making.
Yeah.
That's what I would think.
If somebody's breaking the law, it's got to have the law ticket them, period, and stop them from driving.
We're
Period.
not, you can't go ahead and legislate everybody for everything.
But we can certainly stop it.
I've read my ATV to work.
Well, and that's the thing, there's,
You would?
yeah, you're gonna have to talk about that.
Well,
It's
for coffee
about,
town, I
you know,
would too.
if you're not gonna include any subdivisions, then nobody can get out of their subdivision on their ATV or UTV. How do they,
That's a good question about the subdivisions, though. It is.
how do they,
Take a park at the police station, walk here.
I don't know how you deal with the subdivisions. I
Yeah.
really don't. That's a toughie.
It's 25 miles per hour.
Well,
Yeah,
Well,
that's true.
your subdivisions are gonna be on that side anyways.
And they have to
correct?
follow posted speed limits.
American Heritage.
American Heritage.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's a
Sunset
biggie.
Ridge,
yeah.
Sunset Ridge would be,
Ridge.
that's a,
Where are you gonna go?
no, that's what I'm
You
saying.
can't get out.
Sunset
yeah.
Ridge is one way in,
Yeah.
one way out. Yeah.
But yeah, wind chime and all those over there, you know, the little side streets and stuff. I don't know if any of those people are interested.
I'd say we allow it until we find out it's a problem, and then.
Well, that's,
If it
it sounds like it's already a problem and we haven't allowed it yet. It sounds like you already got a problem
Well,
over there.
Yeah. that- I
And,
just-
and
But
that-
he doesn't live there anymore.
doesn't mean-
oh,
He moved out.
I mean, if you got a problem, it's already been there.
The other thing I'm concerned about as a resident, I guess, is my understanding is only our sworn deputies or the DNR can enforce anything. So
Right.
should there be hours?
With what?
Hours of operation.
Oh,
If you remember
Yeah.
the DNR guy that was here said the only time the DNR really has authority, they can enforce if it's not a trail. So if you had hours, but you didn't have any police on and people were driving after hours, the DNR could enforce it because it's not a trail during those hours. But otherwise, it's only your sworn deputies is what I understood. And it, like your SAM 1 deputies can't enforce it because it's a town ordinance.
Yeah, so technically if I was, so just to put this on the, to back her up here, if I was working overtime tonight at 11 PM to 3 AM, which I did last night, for Willie 3, but I was on the way over to west side of Dane County and I saw somebody violating this town ordinance, even though I'm your guys' contract deputy, I'm a Dane County deputy
Yeah,
at that point.
that's-
So
that's the way I see it.
I wouldn't be able to enforce anything that's specific to the town,
Right.
town policies.
You couldn't,
And I'm your
but you
guys'
can
person.
enforce it.
you couldn't enforce
As a
if
sheriff's
that,
deputy.
if that UTV's
No,
on
not
the
if it
public
doesn't-
road.
Not if it doesn't,
Well,
like,
you-
if we had a county ordinance for it, yes,
Huh?
but I would have to find that county ordinance. I don't know. I don't think we do have a county ordinance.
I wouldn't know why you couldn't enforce it if he's on a public road with a UTV.
Because he's not working for the township at that point.
But he's
The
working for
only
the
reason-
county.
I can't enforce town ordinances, but I can, like, if it's a safety concern, like if it exceeds that level, then I can do something at that point. But there's a gray area.
But we're looking right
So,
here.
so if somebody's coming down Nora Road drunk, you can't enforce that if you're off duty from the township?
No, I would enforce, I wouldn't enforce it through the town municipal court. I would enforce it through the county.
not through the town.
Or the state of Wisconsin.
But couldn't you do the same with?
But look at right here on the sheet here, it's the town of Cottage Grove, total calls for service, contract included.
Right.
Well, and then contract not included?
So contract not included is gonna be, here, let me just make sure. Let me see what I'm looking at here. So contract only, is just Jen and I,
Right.
working. The contract included is Jen, I, and any other Dane County deputy who did anything inside.
And do those go to court at Dane County or to our court here?
If it is the others,
If
If
the,
it's-
our non-contracted officers
They go-
stop somebody in the township,
it would go to the county
Give
or
them a
state of
ticket.
Wisconsin.
It goes to the county.
And they're enforcing county traffic code, that not a town ordinance at that point.
Yeah.
well, so
So like
you're
when,
saying there's somewhere that says you as a deputy in Dane County, in some places, you can't give a ticket.
to an extent,
enforce
I
I'm
can't
saying, though, it
enforce,
doesn't make sense.
I can't enforce a town ordinance.
Who cares?
The town ordinance is what would allow the ATVs to be on the road.
Correct.
County officers wouldn't know the town ordinance.
So,
With approval from the state. The state is allowing these things to happen,
yeah,
down to Dane County, down to us.
all I'm saying is at that meeting that we had here, that was what I thought the DNR guy said, is that the only ones that can
Correct.
enforce it is our sworn deputies or the DNR if it's a non-trail issue.
These deputies are sworn in at Dane County. We don't swear them in.
But Dane County doesn't.
But
have
I'm just
anything to
saying,
do with-
we don't swear the deputies in. Dane County swears them in.
Well, they're contracted to us, so. they-
Okay, and
They're contracted to us to enforce
I
our.
understand that. But another police officer can come into our township and give a ticket out.
Village can't?
No, I just said another sheriff's deputy can come in to our township and give a ticket to the same thing he could do if he was there.
So
Not
Except
quite.
it
It would
goes,
go to
except
county
it goes to a
court.
different court.
Correct.
Correct.
Our ordinances will take a huge block of state statutes and adopt them to the
I
county,
understand.
which he
Understand.
enforces,
Yep.
so we get the revenue. If
Yep.
his coworker from South Precinct comes over here, he would have to actually go to that individual state statute to write the citation as opposed to writing it under our ordinance.
But I know
Correct.
that. I know that.
And,
So-
and if it's a town specific thing, which is what I'm trying to say, is if it's a town specific thing, which the county does not adopt, nor does the state of Wisconsin adopt, then well, not I, but the other officers cannot do anything to do. And with it being specific to the town roads, that's how I'm understanding it. But I don't know all the paperwork you guys have in front of you as well either. So I'm a little bit, I guess,
Isn't
per
this
se,
already
ignorant in this
stated
case, because I
that?
don't know all the details. that you guys
Isn't
have.
this already adopted by the state?
The ability for
Sort
the
of the
town
county.
to create ATV routes, yes.
Okay.
But specific laws concerning their operation, that falls back onto us.
Is that true?
Unless the OWI stuff, any type of traffic related
So
stuff.
that, is that true
Could
for
be-
all these townships now that already have passed this ordinance?
Townships have passed their own individual ordinance.
So they fall under the same thing that.
But
the town of
this
Deerfield
is
would be the
semantics.
same
You're
way.
talking about, that's the way we get the money. What do we care if the cop from,
There is no
Precinct.
state statute that covers our ordinance. That's the
I-
problem.
my point is, if another officer comes in here, sheriff's deputy, and gives a ticket, and it goes to Dane County, what do we care?
What ticket would you be writing it for? Something related to our ordinance or a state traffic?
To Dane County statute, whatever.
So the only thing I'm saying here is, before it gets more heated here, is whatever y'all as a town board do, you have to take into consideration that if it's adopted by a county ordinance and or a state of Wisconsin code or state statute, then yes, any deputy can enforce it. However, we have to make sure that is in effect, because if it's not, then our hands as law enforcement are tied unless it's me or Shadi or
Jen.
Jen.
Yeah.
So, and not like to break it down a little bit more, for another example, so let's say I arrest somebody for battery, right? I can arrest them, state of Wisconsin for battery, right? Or I can issue them a citation through Dane County for battery. Or because I am a town contract deputy, I can issue a battery citation through the town municipal court. However, because if it was John Doe deputy, they wouldn't be able to issue that citation would go to them. But that's because they can still do enforcement because that is adopted by the town, by the county, by the
That's what I
state.
just got done saying,
So,
basically.
yeah, so that's all I'm saying is we have to make sure that
Yeah.
that is adopted.
So Deerfield has, Dane County deputies too, right?
Deerfield does not.
So, but, and they have, their township is open to ATVs?
Correct.
Well, why don't we check with them and see what they're doing there, right? You know,
Same with Christiana, all these that are already got them.
it doesn't seem to be a problem.
They all must be under the,
Yeah, but it
going
doesn't
under
seem
the
to be a
same what we're
problem.
talking about.
I don't know if Christiana contracts with Dane County.
Yeah, I don't know what the rest of them do either for police service.
Just the village does?
Doesn't. The village of Deerfield contracts with Dane
Oh,
County.
Yeah, because they used to have their
Village,
own, now they
yeah.
don't. Right?
The village.
Village, they used to have.
Town
their own.
doesn't.
I think Cambridge too.
But I think we're making a problem out of a problem before it's a problem.
Yeah.
Yeah, they share with the village.
There's stuff that's gonna come up, there's no question. And we're just gonna have to get through it and
Like I said, we
solve the problems.
try it, and see how it lays out.
I
And
don't
as
think-
far as hours go, from what limited research I have done, I won't say a lot, but there are numerous townships that have limitations that you can't ride it after midnight. Like midnight to 7 or something
I've
like
never
that.
seen any of those.
I hadn't either.
Which would leave normal sleeping hours always free potentially.
Yeah, I can see having a time limit when they can't drive.
If you're old like me, you ain't gonna be out there.
And we can make it 6 o'clock for you.
6:30.
Why so
In case you forget
late?
There you go again, yeah.
Yes, dinner at 4:30.
Yes.
I'm retired, I can't be.
But I would be for doing it, like I said, anything like here, I can't see that, actually, you know.
No.
It's gonna limit itself anyways over there.
But from here around and down this way, I can see that.
I
I
would
can't, I
Baxter to Liberty.
And if there's
And-
places it shouldn't be, that's the way it is.
Deerfield Road and Ridge Road.
Doing that again? What was that?
Boundaries?
Baxter to Liberty, Ridge Road, and Deerfield Road.
Well, you probably want, West Fargo and Nora, because that's the
Yeah.
only way they're gonna get to.
Yeah,
Yes.
Then we have Jargo.
Right. I mean, Ridge, the path is gonna probably, they're gonna wanna go from Ridge all the way down to Nora's, probably.
Right.
Just open the whole east side.
Hey, like, yeah, just open the
Just open the whole east side.
east side of M.
How many roads are gonna stop them? They can't go anywhere.
And if there's a concern like that you have, you'll put the no,
Shut it down.
Let's
shut it down.
would be
don't
willing, I
punish
would be
too many
willing
for the
to.
actions of a few.
What's
Yeah,
that?
but I would,
Don't punish many for the actions of a
Right.
few. Or a one.
check. What are you saying, Mike?
Bribes are going the wrong way.
Take that,
Oh.
mark that up as to what you would prefer and bring it back to me and I'll put it back on the agenda for discussion.
All right. Is this something different than,
It's our town. It's all our roads.
oh, different than what I did with the land?
You got the,
Yeah, that's a plat map.
Yeah.
It's just roads.
I look at these corners on up off
Should,
and I
should,
worry about.
like, we get together on this
What?
or with you?
Nora is straight here and down. And over.
Cup off is very curvy.
It's very curvy.
So
35 miles an hour.
No, it's 55.
Well, it would be 35 for,
ATVs, UTVs.
Well, you would.
if we got this figured out
You'd
here.
have to put it.
You'd have to put speed limit
signs
signs
up.
up.
Yeah, oh, yeah, yeah, for
Yeah.
sure.
You ever
With
sat
the
on that front road?
signs.
I agree.
With the signs.
Have you ever sat on
We
the
could
front
decide.
road?
Looking for sample
Have you ever picked up anybody for going 50?
It kind of takes care of itself with the bends in it.
Yeah,
Like, I have no issues with the east side of township. Like, for traffic enforcement, I don't know of any traffic speed issues that I've had to deal with on the east side of our township. All my speed stuff has been west of,
The curves kind of take care of the speeds
yeah.
on the east side of the township.
Big time.
I live on the east side and I go down Noah Road, I don't do 45 even.
Yep. But then having the signs up also would,
Enforce.
and then enforce the issue, yes, enforce it.
Okay.
And then take a look in 6 months.
and what, I didn't hear the last part, Christie.
And take a look at 6 months after.
Oh, six.
I think we should take a look at it every day.
Well,
6 months to me means nothing because we're gonna invest in signs all over the place. And then all of a sudden, we're gonna say it's 6 months. I don't think
We're
we're
gonna
gonna do
take
this.
them
You
down
know?
and give them back to them.
No, we gotta be looking at this stuff every day,
Well, I mean,
just like cars.
yeah,
so like a sunset clause to reevaluate,
Yeah.
at 6 or a year or whatever, give it
some-
time to
something
shake
that-
out, so you got two
Put something
complaints
in
right
the
away, but
books
then there's
for
nothing
that.
for months,
Yeah.
Yeah.
that kind of thing where it would.
I guess, depending upon when we, and if we bring it to fruition, if it's less than normal riding weather, maybe this first time we go 7 or 8 months just to give enough riding time. I
Yeah,
mean,
because you're.
If we started it now and go
now.
6 months,
Yeah.
you know, we're not gonna have any problems, because nobody's gonna be out there.
Yeah, we'd have to
Put
come
any
up with a
Good
sign-
date.
point, good
Yeah.
points.
You aren't gonna put up any signs until April.
But we'd have to come up with a date when we
If you
can,
approve anything.
when the whole thing is online.
When it, okay, like April 1st or whatever.
Right.
That gives us time to put this together.
Come back and talk to us.
Again.
Well, I mean, I just.
How many years
Still
has
don't
it, how many years has
like
it
the
been
fact
now?
that they
So you're a
are-
lot farther along right now, I can
Yeah.
tell you, so.
Manufacturer still says they're off-road.
Yeah.
But you can buy on-road tires for them.
Yeah,
Yes,
It is.
I-
You can't enforce
It's
that.
like, that's just like,
No, you can't enforce that.
No.
But a lot of them do that. They put regular car, like a car tire tape on them. If they're running a lot of blacktop.
We would hope. So get back to
So you want to put this together, I can come meet you at your place and pack this,
call me whatever.
bring you a bottle of brandy with you.
no driving.
Go get your group of people together and sit down and do this now.
Yeah, you get it ready
This
to
is
go.
winter right now. This is the time to do it.
It's too cold to be out on the sleds.
Yeah.
No sledder ever.
All right, we will move on
Thank you.
to item C, discuss their approval purchase agreement with Reliance Fire Apparatus Incorporated for Pierce Manufacturing Incorporated. Enforcer 100 ATP fire truck to be delivered in 2028.
All right.
It's tabled from the January 2nd meeting. And the attorneys talked. They came to an agreement and so did Reliant. They removed the two clauses that we had problems with that would have allowed it to skyrocket in price.
That's North Star, I really don't need you nothing.
And we're going with just that PPI.
So Shadle is actually Cottage Grove.
What does Village do?
Their meeting is tomorrow.
Oh, they're meeting tomorrow.
Oh, really?
Too cold for them tonight?
Martin Luther King holiday.
Luther King.
Oh, yeah. To be
I'm
in,
sorry, I didn't.
half and half.
postpone the meeting.
Same with,
Yeah,
Last-
with this.
to Deerfield is half.
Didn't let them say, yeah,
One's Pleasant Street.
yeah, that's up to them.
If Attorney Cole's and okay with it, I guess I would be okay with
I
it.
agree. I
Sure.
agree.
Township, so Belmont.
Well, the only other thing I'll say is that $2 million, we could spend a hell of a lot of money repairing the current one that we have.
I say the same. I,
Here's the guy that could explain to you.
Yeah, and
why.
he did explain it, but I sort of, when he explained it, I think he sort of felt the same too. That's what I thought.
Because when we go to sell it, we're gonna be lucky getting 20 grand for it.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, kind of was looking for him at the time, so.
South of the border, maybe more.
The last one that sold was older than ours and sold for 13,000.
Yeah, we saw one that sold
13,000?
13, that was pretty much the same setup, just a few years older.
Wow.
Yeah, we're always dealing with this stuff where if it's this old, no matter what, we got to get rid of it. And I don't know, we do the same with our equipment, basically.
He's here or something.
Even though it's got very, and we've discussed this before, something that's got very little miles on it. You know, I think one was a front end loader, wasn't it? Or talked about it had like
We
0
don't
hours
even,
on
we
it.
don't even
That
have
was-
anything
Jeff
that
was
we
still
even,
here yet.
we don't even have any buildings that we need that ladder truck in the township.
Village does.
There you go.
Green
Let 'em
belt.
help themselves.
Yeah, then for us, Nora Road. is-
Green bins are ours.
Huh?
Green bins are in town yet,
Yeah, that's true.
That's
dryer stacks.
Yeah.
The what?
The green setup over
Yeah,
there.
yeah, I thought you said
Council
something else.
consider.
Yeah.
What's your pleasure?
I think once this goes, it'll go.
I think we need to do it. It's certainly going to be a lot more money another year or two. And I think we are still going to need to do it. We all pay insurance on our homes, and our insurance rate is influenced by the quality of the fire department that's going to be protecting us. And I think we have a very excellent fire department and wonderful volunteers that pour a lot of heart and soul into it. So I would move that we go ahead with it. Because I'm comfortable with the negotiations that our attorney has done with Reliant.
Motion by Williams. Is there a second? Second by Anders to approve the purchase agreement with Reliant Fire Apparatus Incorporated for the Pierce Manufacturing Enforcer 100-foot ATT fire truck. Any discussion on the motion?
No, sir.
I wonder, I would like to really know what the village does first. I hate to say it, but
Well, if they don't approve
I
it.
mean, are they gonna go,
it's-
every person on the board's gonna vote for it, do you think, or,
I'd like to wait, actually.
yeah, you know what I mean?
We have to sign it by the 28th.
Yeah, we wouldn't have a meeting.
We wouldn't have, we'd
Obviously.
have to have another
Special
special
They
meeting.
don't approve it, doesn't approve it. You can do your contingency like they did theirs last time, where they said, subject to the town approving it. You know, that's what they did for their motion last time.
I'm comfortable adding that if the second wants to do
Sure.
that. So,
You bet.
good suggestion. Mike,
Motion and a second to approve
With the
the purchase
contingency.
agreement with the addition of
the
as-
village approving,
village has to approve it also.
right.
Any discussion? Any more discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign.
Aye.
Motion carried. Discuss and consider recommendations regarding Dane County Ordinance Amendment 2023-08-068 regarding conditional use permit and rezoning process, tabled from the 2nd.
The question that some people had regarding where the Towns Association came up with their, actually, it came at the recommendation of the 2 attorneys from the town of Middleton. So it wasn't just something that we pulled out of our hat. And it actually came from, I believe they said it was 2 attorneys that were working on this particular subject for the town of Middleton. So
Did we ever hear back from WTA?
No.
Is there a motion?
I would move that we support
2023-08-068.
Yes, sorry.
Motion by Andrews. Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Second by Williams to approve Dane County Ordinance Amendment 2023-08-068. Any discussion on that motion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Next item, discuss and consider approval of security and service agreement with Pelletier for shredding services.
So Pelletier called me the other day about this. You know, I have $500 in the budget this year for shredding. We have piles of stuff that should be shredded.
Yeah.
I thought this might be, and it's just one of those things that's like insurmountable, and we're like, we don't really want to call them out until we have the whole pile, but we never get the whole pile. It's like that, this will fit in the budget. It'll be less than what it would cost. It's less than $500 in the year if we only do it every 12 weeks, like they say. They'll put a cabinet in our office somewhere, and we just, whatever needs to be shredded, we put in there, and when it's full, we call them. And then the $65 per shredding thing is actually for a whole cart. So if that thing's full and we have some other boxes, which we do, we can throw those in and we can get those with that 65 each time too, and just sort of whittle away at this, but then also just get started now. I thought this was better than trying to, bite it up right off this big chunk and have them come out once, and then the next day you find a whole bunch of more boxes. I thought this was more of a chew away at it solution, and it's not going to cost any more than that 500 that I have in the budget. So
What's the deal with Waste Management? They don't have the same service or?
I've never seen them offer it. Pelletier has been pretty,
Pelletier is the go-to person in Dane County.
yeah, and they,
So it's $100 each time they do it.
$65 each time they do it. And then if you, plus
There's a
it's,
35.
no, that's an additional charge if you have more than one tote.
More than one what?
Tote.
No.
They have, or
Tip.
cart. It's a
Per visit.
$65 tipping fee, plus there's a fuel charge, and I don't know exactly what that's gonna be. But then while they're here, if you have another cart's worth, you can get
Well, it
that
would be
second
another
cart for
35 for that.
Yeah, so I mean, it's a good way to get going here and then ongoing and keep up with it. I did mention that if somehow our next contract would be with Pelletier, that they also offer a free shred event yearly, like in the parking lot. That's part of
For the
it.
residents.
Well,
That's cool.
yeah, so that might be something that could come in the future, but I just feel like this might be a really good way to get caught up with some of the stuff that we need.
Second. Motion by Anders, second by Duplay to approve the 3-year contract with Pelletier for shredding services. Any discussion on the motion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Next item is consider attendees for WTA district meetings. This is the one where we get certified for Board of Review.
You all did just certify last May though, so you don't necessarily have to.
Okay,
'Cause it's only every other year.
But they talked, I saw online
Yeah.
that there's the virtual agenda as well as the in-person agenda.
right.
Yeah.
So to me, am I incorrect in assuming that we can do it, the meeting virtual and go through the whole kit and caboodle or do we actually physically have to?
I'm trying to remember the dates for the virtual. I remember thinking it was the 2nd or 3rd of February for the in-person.
Tuesday, or no, April 1st is the first virtual session, Board of Review training 9 to 11:30. April 2nd is the virtual session announcement of topics coming soon, ag road improvement, shared revenue update. So we were all done last year for Board of
I
Review.
checked that. I certified it was May of 23 that you all certified.
So we're good for another year, actually,
And that,
Yeah,
so.
more than a year.
But there might be other things that you want to go to.
agricultural road improvement program, shared revenue update, small bridge culvert program details, options and town responsibilities. That's for the in-person.
Was there a lot of
Virtual.
stuff in there for like Dan to go to and different programs? I thought something about it. I thought I read it in the magazine.
This is mainly
You know what?
for,
I might be wrong. It says now, the state, did they change it? Somebody has to be certified annually. That's what they're saying here. State law requires at least one Board of Review member to be certified annually.
okay,
So at least one of you should probably get recertified.
The virtual, April 1st and 2nd, April 2nd is the election.
April 2nd, 9. That one doesn't contain the Board of Review
Ah, oh, okay.
certification. Only the April 1st one does. April 2nd only has the small bridge culvert programs, ag road improvement program, and shared revenue update,
That's what I kind of thought.
9 to 11:30.
So we got some time on that.
Well, so you need to
Yeah,
pick
you're right over here.
which one. I don't know which, but you usually go to Barneveld, is it?
No, we've
We
gone
went
to
to
Virtual.
Juneau or
There was one over near.
Whitewater.
Juneau is February 2nd, Whitewater is February 3rd.
Whitewater's the one we.
Whitewater is the one
You're gonna want to decide it at this
When's
meeting,
Whitewater?
February 3rd.
It's a Saturday. Juneau is
You start
February
doing
2nd to
February 3rd.
Friday.
This is or not, police department, that's kind of. the area.
Whitewater,
That's-
February 2nd,
They're gonna
Juneau,
use
and
what they
Barneveld,
got.
February 23rd.
I cannot do February 23rd.
But that's kind of a start to get on the east
I
side.
can do the 2nd or 3rd.
So we got at least two there.
I'd do the 2nd.
I would do the 2nd.
Like that fireball.
February 2nd? Oh, I did see that.
Yeah, it's a
Groundhog Day.
Friday.
They don't have a meeting.
At the community center in Juneau. I think we've been there before.
Yes.
Yeah, medical.
So obviously we don't need all five of us to take it.
No,
This case.
You're gonna have to
Chief.
register this, probably pay with a credit card because it's before your next meeting. Or
The next meeting would be till February 6th.
Yeah,
right.
and it's, the early registration is 10 days in advance, so.
To make a motion to approve up to 3 to attend. So I can't go on that.
I'm not going.
Motion by Anders to
Second.
approve 3, seconded by Fonger for 3 to attend the February 2nd WTA district meeting in Juneau. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries.
So I should register you three?
Us three.
Okay.
Consider attendees for DCTA membership meeting Wednesday, the 17th.
It is only virtual.
Yep. Want to do it from the town hall or from home or wherever?
Home.
Attendees,
Buckle. I can do it from here.
We can do it from home.
You want to do it from here?
Yeah, I'll come here.
Yeah,
I'll do
I
it from
can-
here.
That's when?
Wednesday.
Wednesday.
This Wednesday,
7
all
o'clock.
5 will attend virtual and 4 of us will be here.
I'm just gonna make sure that we don't have a hall rented out.
Let us know in the morning.
It does, the MG Soccer Club has the hall at 7 o'clock.
Who does?
Soccer Club.
My son.
Soccer club.
Yeah.
They have this hall here.
Yeah.
Can we use computer in the office?
You can, I guess, yeah.
No, yeah, we,
So they have part of.
Because
I'm over.
Have one set up for us at the table?
Side, like Dick Molly lives here, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
Either that or we just set one up on your desk, we just sit around the desk.
West
What's
side.
the difference?
Well, there's that table. and
I
everything.
know, but the computer's
Right.
already set up where they're at.
What was during the
West side
computer
is the
when it's on
village.
your desk?
Okay.
Told me to put more there, 'cause that's the township. No,
Wednesday then.
Seven.
on the other side of the road. Yeah, that's village. He told me to put more.
Did we vote on that?
Why don't put a retention pond on that side?
All
Ask
those
him.
in favor of that motion signify by saying aye.
What's the name?
Opposed, same sign, motion carried.
Who was the motion?
Down.
Clay made the motion and.
No,
I would second. I believe, wasn't it? Yeah.
Andrews and Fonger.
Pretty place. Yep.
Next one is consider attendees for Ellers Public Finance and Economic Development Seminars the 15th and 16th of February. I was thinking that maybe someone should go because they had tax increment financing 101, seems how we
That's all village.
talked
You get
about it.
down the house on the right, Mung zone now.
Yep.
That's in town.
It was on
Because then-
February 15th. At 10 a.m. and that's
And the railroad tracks there in town.
Kalahari.
Kalahari.
Ooh,
Yeah,
I make a motion, Chris goes.
Yeah, across
Second.
the road, this township too, that shed.
motion by Fonger, second by
Strawberry place, wherever they call it.
Williams for Hampton to attend the February 15th.
Yes.
Any?
And in the village, we can mow all that side. Yeah. Because I think it's theirs. It's not. And I knew the cool.
Yeah. If he wants to come, I go with you.
I would go just to try to understand what my role would be, but I can't because it's right before an election. It'll be one of the busiest days for absentee voting. It's really a dumb time for them to do that for clerks and treasurers.
Could you have both Amber and Jen?
So, not for the kind of stuff. Neither one of them has the experience for stuff that can go wrong that day.
So what day is the 15th for you?
Well, it's like
Thursday.
It's the last day for people to apply for absentee ballots. It's, it's the day we're open till 5 for one of the days we're open till 5 for absentee ballots.
Oh,
It's the
bummer.
wrong day. Yeah. So Chris will have to tell me what to do.
All those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Public Works, road driveway permits.
We got one, but I gotta review it yet. I haven't had time. Been busy with the storm. Other than that, I thought it went pretty well. We put a lot of hours in. It kept coming down, blowing. I did, Saturday, I did have to call in a little help. I had Tim Taylor come in and help. He cleaned all the subdivisions and stuff up for us while we stayed on the main roads and fought the drifts and all the fun stuff. So he came
Was
in
it Saturday morning or
Saturday morning.
that I got the 911 call? I called you.
Sunday morning was 911 call, yeah.
What was that
What was
call?
that?
It was a stranded motorist in the middle of Vilas Road
Yeah.
by Loney's Corner up there.
Really?
Yeah.
No, where that little curve and it
Yeah.
comes downhill and.
That was slippery there.
Yeah. He was, all four tires were off the ground, but he was on the road. So he found a drift that kind of went like this across the road.
Well, there was like a little rut there and he probably hit that rut because I hit it too, but I was fine.
No, there was a drift, all the way across the road.
Oh, no kidding.
He was up
Really?
on it. Yeah.
Wow. What time was that?
I don't know,
6 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
Oh, well, that's,
He was heading to his job
yeah.
and he was late.
So it was later.
So Dan got there and pulled him off the drift and then plowed it for him so he could get to work, but. yeah.
How was Baxter? Pretty good or?
Yeah,
No complaints?
we have snow fence up on that, so
Oh, you do? Okay, good.
no drift out there this year. But, yeah,
Had a few complaints, but that's
Normal.
normal.
everybody's.
What are you gonna do?
Lead to what we had.
Look at City of Madison, these roads are better, not any worse than City of Madison roads are. John Nolan's a disaster and
Yeah.
County N ain't the prettiest sight, is it?
BB.
And going into Madison is really good.
Yeah,
Or
and
no,
going,
and-
and going to Stoughton.
And I thought it was fairly good.
So
actually.
Sunday morning, and the bridge on N was completely drifted.
Wow.
Guardrail to guardrail. I don't know if you saw it or not.
They had the grader out to clear
Oh, they did?
Well,
it. Dane County.
I might have plowed it first.
Oh.
Is that Dane County? Not the village.
It's
Dane
Dane
County
County.
does that?
That's Dean County, yeah.
Yeah.
Cause I went that way and hit Field View early in the morning and I had to plow my way through because I couldn't get through, so I busted through it. I didn't worry about snow going over the edge though, so hopefully there was no cars out. It was 5 o'clock in the morning.
You ever say what we got? Must have been 18 inches or so, wasn't it?
16.6 was airport, wasn't it?
Was it? It seems like we had quite a bit out here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I thought our roads were in good condition.
Yeah,
They were
I did
well
too.
taken care of, so thank you.
I thought we did the best we could.
No complaints here.
Anything
My paper
else?
boy got stuck by my mailbox at 5:30 this morning and didn't get, and we offered to do something for, he said, oh, I got a truck coming. At 8:30, he was still sitting there.
Yeah, I haven't seen my paper yet this week.
Yeah, and that's probably part of the problem. Yeah.
No, I know.
I did.
I got both papers on Sunday, Saturday and
I
Sunday
did
both.
too.
Oh, did you?
Didn't get one on Saturday, got two on.
Very
two on
I don't
Sunday.
need
I
mine
only got
anyway.
one on Sunday, but
Well,
I
then
didn't get
the
one.
mailman
I
delivered
didn't
my
get
mail
Saturday
today.
and I didn't get
Oh, you did?
today.
Yeah,
Really?
Well, we have that
Yeah, that's
happen
how-
even on the good weather.
yeah, we have that too.
Anything else?
Nope.
Clerk treasurer.
Jen started, she's doing great. She's gonna be great. I'm really happy with her so far, I guess, and that's. We'll have a budget amendment probably at the next meeting. Auditors are coming February 6th, I think it is. So that's what we'll be working on now.
Okay.
Chris, hey Chris, can I go back to me for a second? I forgot. Our truck's done.
Oh, yeah.
And I saw the check.
Well,
I signed it.
yeah, the approval, right?
We'll have the check.
Okay. Done already.
Board reports and communications, March 6th at 4 PM at the Alliance Center is going to be the public hearing on the new landfill. There'll be a press release going out prior to, and there's
March 6th.
The back nine.
March 6th,
What time again?
4 PM.
Or housing.
They're supposed to provide free parking.
So we just opened up.
Oh, yeah.
And I did get their conceptual plan for landscaping around landfill if anybody wants to see it.
It's gonna sneak up past the trees anyway, so.
Yeah,
By the end, anyway.
there were no
Just like going across the
committees.
street, you know? Motion to adjourn.
Motion by Anders. Second by Delay for adjournment. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye.
I was going to ask a question, but I didn't get it in. I was just gonna ask Nick, what's happening with fire department? Have you been busy or has it been quiet? at the start?
We had another 2 calls tonight.
You guys get stuck anytime?
We're at
Yeah, I
4
did
for
Friday
today.
night. My
Down on some
brother-in-law
30 calls
works
already.
for the town of Albia.
Really? What
Yeah,
kind of
he
stuff?
said he backed, it had rolled him backed up.
We had 5 calls during the
Yeah,
first
the
day of
truck full of
Friday.
salt.
For
For what?
Down he went.
Semis, kayak,
Oh, yeah.
2 false ones.
All my fellow, he worked for the village here. World out in the country, village, different curve,
What do they
sidewalk.
call you if
We
there's
could have had this.
No pucker effect in
Paul
the village.
Schmidt?
Yeah.
It was a 3 semis slid off the road. It's kind of, the last 2 weeks of the year, it was really quiet. We had like